Welcome to Games from the J. My name is JennySilver, and normally I'm doing this with my husband Jason, but it's just me today. So today we're going to talk about and show you in just a moment here. I just have a few quick things to say before we get into the gameplay itself. This is Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, and Herschel Layton. Nice little Jewish name there. This has been out in Japan for quite a while, but it just recently came out in the US. I definitely recommend this. This is a great game for learning Japanese. Wonderful, because it does have furigana, which is kind of like the hiragana transliteration of the kanji. So it's very easy to look things up, and the translations, the English translations, I think are hilarious. They're very well localized, and they actually inspired me to get into translation myself. There is also a new Phoenix Wright game that has been announced, which takes place like one of his ancestors, which takes place in the past. So I hope that I'll be able to get some more information about that. Maybe at the Tokyo Game Show, they'll talk about it some more. All right, so let's get into the gameplay. One more quick thing. There's split gameplay, and it kind of merges once you progress into the game. So the Layton side, they are in England, and this woman Mahone comes to them for help. And on the Phoenix Wright side, Mahone is actually on trial for killing somebody and maybe something else as well. So the Phoenix is actually there on some kind of exchange program in England. So somehow their paths are going to cross, the worlds are going to cross. So here is our game, and now we're hunting after our little friend Mahone mysteriously disappeared. And on the bottom right hand corner there's a move menu, and then on the bottom left hand corner there is just a menu where you can save and look at your puzzles and all of that. And yep, so we are in England, as you can see, because Layton, all of that takes place in Britain. This is Mr. Burton, or Officer Burton. I said Officer Burton just because he's a police officer. Show some respect, why not? And yeah, he's in big trouble here, but he's actually talking about his hamburger. So he says that there's an incident, but he's actually talking about his hamburger got all messed up. So here you actually have to put everything back in order. And I'm not the quickest at these puzzles, so I sped it up a lot. But yeah, this is kind of a fun little puzzle. So the Layton games, I haven't played too many of the Layton games, but I'm actually inspired to play more of them now after playing this game. But there's a lot of puzzles that you have to do, and this is one of them. So I finally figured it out. Here we go. Alright. Okay. Okay, so it says puzzle solved. Correct. Okay, so about the voice actors, there is a little bit of voice acting in this game. And the voice of Luke, you can see over there, his voice was done by actually Maki Horikita, and she's pretty famous out here. She's she's a girl, and she's doing a young man's voice. But if you're into J-dramas and movies like Always, she's been in that. Yeah, so here we are at the scene of the crime. Well, not crime really, but it was an accident. So this is kind of like the Layton side, where you can explore and collect clues and then do puzzles. And then there's also the Phoenix Wright side, which we'll get to later in the video, where it's just the courtroom. So this kind of plays a lot like the Phoenix Wright games. It just seems that the Layton side has replaced the clue gathering side of the Phoenix Wright games. Yeah, pretty mysterious. How did a car get up there? It's kind of weird. So we're still looking for our friend, and then there's this weird car accident, so hope she's okay. Alright. Okay, so we do have another puzzle coming up here, and you'll be able to hear the voice of the other voice actor in his game, so I don't forget, is Yo Oizumi. He's also quite famous. He's been in several dramas, and he is like a talent or a comedian out here. And he's actually a pretty funny dude. I think he does a pretty good job. The voice, if you don't have headphones, you're not really going to hear it very well. I did shut off the 3D on this, and I don't mean to offend all of you who do enjoy the 3D, but it gives me such a headache, so I usually turn it off no matter what game I'm playing. And this is not actually my DS, it's my husband's. So this guy doesn't believe that I am the real Layton, which is absurd. This guy needs to be kicked in the balls or something, because he dares to question Layton. So he ends up giving what I thought was the easiest puzzle of the game. And I am bad at puzzles, but this one was pretty easy. So just watch this. Here we go. You just have to hide from the police and their flashlights, and you'll see how it works. Yep. So if you step within those squares where the flashlight is visible, then you're busted. But as you can see, I will get busted once, and you don't really get penalized for it. You just get fewer coins, which I have yet to understand what the benefit of those coins are. So here we go, getting closer to the exit there. I really wish I could like point on the screen itself. Maybe I'll get that technology soon. So if you have a better, there I go. So if you have a better idea for a very low budget way to film DS games and give proper commentary, then please feel free to let me know. This was actually filmed with, yay! Okay, so again I said puzzle solved and then correct. Okay, so now we're back in the park, and you can actually use that blue magnifying glass to kind of zoom in on certain special things. Kind of like in the Phoenix Wright games as well. I do think that the artwork is very level 5-y, but then once you get back into the Phoenix Wright side, it, you know, definitely they kept all of the artwork there. But there is a kind of level 5 twist to it. There seems to be much more movement within the game, but it still does keep that cartoony feel that Capcom left. So this is actually... Alright, so this is the Phoenix Wright side of things, and this woman, Mahone, is on trial for probably killing somebody. We're not really sure what's going on here. She was the one that was missing in the Layton side, so now she's on trial in the Phoenix world. So the two are kind of separate, but they meet up eventually here in the game. So her name, Mahone, is kind of a pun for Maho, which is magic, and her last name, the first part of it, Kotaru, is, you know, say something or to chant. And, you know, this game is always known for making puns for their names. Like Wendy Oldbag was one of my favorite ones for the last one. And this guy, he's kind of a jerk. Look at this. Who says there's not sarcasm in Japanese? This guy... There is sarcasm in Japanese. You just gotta look in the right place, I guess. Alright, so, yeah, Maya always calls him Nick in the American series. She does call him Naruto-kun here. And, you can hear my dog drinking in the background, sorry about that. Yeah. Alright, so here, you know, she is actually convicted of not convicted, accused of 2 things. So, yep, we picked larceny and assault, and I didn't do all of those message screens, but if you want to know, just let me know and I'll be happy to translate them for you. Alright, so one of the main things we like to do is, in this game, is on the right hand side you see Gibtsukeru, which is like to present something, and on the other side, which I'm trying to do right now, is to press. And he says, wait, hold it! Yeah. So that's the funny part of the game, is when he says hold it or objection, which you'll see later, of course. Alright. This guy is funny, and he thinks that he is such a professional. So right now, this is like a witness testimony, and so you use your bits of evidence that you have and you present it to the judge to make sure that everything, nothing gets past you. So photos like this will be added to the court records, which you can present later on. Those little stuffed toys there are kind of a throwback as well to some of the older Phoenix Wright games. So this is kind of how it goes. You're just, this is the trial part of Phoenix Wright. Usually Phoenix Wright games also have that kind of exploration part where you gather clues and talk to people. So this witness guy was on patrol that night, and he's telling what he saw. And he is such a professional. He's always going on about how he's professional. So with these, you listen to what they say, and you can either present something to catch them in a contradiction, or you can press them even further and they'll say something. I would suggest, pressing them because they took a lot of care to write some funny stuff. There it is! Objection! Alright, so what I'm doing here is I actually went back to show you what happens if you present evidence at the wrong time. So yeah, he's got his sheepish little grin there, and then he's going to lose one of those exclamation points. And if you lose all of those, you die. And you have to go back to, the beginning of that section. And if you've been going for a long time, then it's kind of irritating. Oops, he got rammed by the judge there. Okay, so now we're going to go and actually go through and give the correct evidence here. No other abnormalities. Okay, so it's up to you to use your logic to find out, using the pieces of evidence that are in your collection, when a witness is contradicting themselves. So here we go. You gotta choose from the correct pieces of evidence on the bottom there and present it to the judge. And of course, during the trial you can use those menus to kind of examine the evidence a little bit more closely. There's a little details panel on there. I didn't translate all of the menus because it's just too much on this screen. But if you need, just let me know, and I'll be happy to help you out with that. Oh, he came back. What a jerk. What a jerk. But you're wrong, guy. You're wrong. You really are. Okay, so now it explains even further. So even if you didn't catch the full contradiction before you presented the evidence, which is sometimes the case, you just know that there is something wrong there. They'll go into a little bit more detail. But yeah, that box has been opened up, and that's not cool. So he's going on and on about his professional eye, and how professional he is. And, if you're actually playing the game, he is talking about how professional he is all the time. So he just got busted, and his ego is... Alright. Sorry, guy. So this is basically how the game works, and I just spat on you, I'm sorry. And then you get the music. So that is the game, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. This is kind of my first foray into game intros and reviews and walkthroughs and all of that jazz. So I hope you'll stick with us. This one was by myself today, but Jason and I are doing some together that we can't wait to show you, and I think that you'll be so surprised and interested. And yep, so this game I actually picked up for less than 20 bucks. It was over 50 for the longest time, and it recently just dropped in early August to about 20 bucks. So I was super happy and picked it up. Yeah, so I definitely recommend this game. I'm not going to give a rating system. I'll just show you how it is, and I haven't finished it yet or come close to it, so I'm not sure. But so far I'm really enjoying it, and I have a problem finishing games, but this one might actually happen. Alright, so thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to doing more of these with you. Feel free to let me know any questions or comments you have down in the comments section below. You can also catch me on Twitter and all of that wonderful social media. Thank you so much for watching. I love you for watching. See you next time. Bye.